Hey you guys, Hydra, and you probably already read the title of the video, so you already know what's going down. So let me be honest, this game was impulse buy. The hype was really getting to me literally till like midnight of the midnight release of the game, and I haven't really seen that much gameplay prior to release. So this game was a real gamble for me. So let's review and let's get this game and let's see how it worked out for me. So let me explain. From the start of the game, it's tailored to be your ideal experience with its audio options, even having multiple ones such as Japanese voices and English voices, and in the game being black and white, which that alone was a good start to show how heavily story based this game is. And even so, to the point where the underlying theme for this game is cinematics, to the point where it even seeps into the gameplay, which we'll discuss later on. But for the most part, the story is very immersive, which kept me engaged from start to finish. Most of the characters, if not all, were well written, and from the main character, such as Jin, the main antagonist Khan, and the other supporting characters. And speaking of supporting characters, the side stories for themselves add so much immersion and really bring you emotionally closer to them as they get through their own endeavors. But I should know, in my experience with the game, the side mission sequence wasn't a sequence how I naturally expected them to. I was confused as I played through them and they were out of order. My favorite support character, Lady Moscow, and her story was very eye-opening for me. Another story-based side mission I really enjoyed was the Mythic Tales. As a person that loves mythology/history, it's satisfying when I would do one and I would get a move that's very flashy and powerful, or an armor that's very useful. Outside supporting Tales and Mystic Tales is other missions you will find along the road in other areas which satisfies within itself, or at the very least spills the legend bar by the mission's work. Another tidbit I enjoyed was the dialogue choice during some missions. It really made those little interactions special opposed to other games how nowadays they have illusion of choice, and that really did it for me. And all this takes place all through the course of 3 acts in the game, and from what I played, there isn't a really time-sensitive missions and everything's at your own pace. So it gave me the freedom to do other things and build myself up before I wanted to tackle anything main story related. And another note I want to add is this game isn't boss battle heavy throughout the main story. They are really mostly seen doing side missions, so they're like EX boxes in a sense. And by the story's ending, it made me feel a lot of emotions, and it really made me feel a lot of things by the end. So I can really say a lot of good things about this story, which will not be spoiled. And I can also say just look into it for yourself. But we're gonna head on to the gameplay now. Straight off the bat, this game combat can get intense, which complements the story and further adds to the expectation of samurai sword fights, but they get better and arguably more intense as you go through the game and the story. Not to mention there's a good amount of mechanisms and gameplay styles that introduce you as you play, but at the same time doesn't feel overwhelming, such as stances, and essentially work as effectiveness for breaking the guards of different enemy types and staggering, even though I personally feel like spear weapons are the most annoying. And now I'll speak on parrying. To me it's a little peculiar, and not just in my experience. It's important that I do speak on it because parrying is an essential part of combat immersion, and as I'm making this video, they released an update for new difficulties that include better reaction time, so take that as you will. By the time you reach Act 2, majority of controls feel so seamless, and also personally love the variety of weapons outside of your main katanas. They have multiple uses outside of brute force, such as stealth missions, and while we're on them, stealth missions are decently difficulty at the best. At the same time, it keeps you on edge, and that's good for people like me that like to go gung-ho if possible. But one of the things I found a little repetitive was the detective aspect of some missions call for basically just look around the footprints and follow the footprints, but it wasn't overwhelming repetition. Moving on to world traversing throughout the island is not as tasking as other open world games because all you have to do is be near a major or minor landmark and passing, then you could be able to fast travel to there if needed, which is helpful when you want to cut out the fat of mission time and riding around to the new destinations. It's very pleasing to look at beautiful graphics in the land of Tsushima, and throughout the weather is different time, different day. Nothing feels the same. My favorite time is the midnight. It's so lifelike. And going back to the earlier statement where I said the underlying theme is cinematics is further proven in having standoffs where you have a carefully strike at the right time or take a lot of damage. It's a virtual gamble with your health, but it's very cool when you win the standoff in addition to the skills you gain from Mythic Tales. It also gives a sense of untouchable source prowess, and the ghost stance makes you absolute force to be reckoned with. The game also has the option of customization and upgrades for gear that you get through various merchants, which I'm a very big fan of. At the same time, I wish the color customization was a little bit more free because it's restricted to pre-decided color schemes. At the same time, it's mix and match, so it's okay, it's kind of neutral. So it's time to discuss upgrades. As you do missions, you gain points to fill your legend status. Your ghost skills become unlocked, such as focus hearing, so you can be better at stealth missions or assassination or missions that call for both. It also, by doing those missions, you get charms that give you special boosts, whether it be health, defense, or being able to draw arrows more precisely or poison enemies. But to have more charm slots, it means you gotta follow the foxes to the Inari shrines and offer prayer, and that will be in your best interest to do so. So let's talk about health and death. For the most part though, resolve fears are how you use and regain health, and how you do mystic moves, so you have to use them wisely. And you regain those by fighting and killing opponents, or at the very least getting some hits off, which add the intensity to the battle. Now for boss battles, they are all basically 1v1 samurai duels that include no other weapons than your katanas. And it's surprisingly challenging, but at the same time not overwhelming. So it makes you good that you sought out those missions, because again, most of them are not in the main journey. To top it off, the game has a photo mode to capture your ideal scenery, to show off, and surprisingly very intuitive. Once again, adding to the underlying theme of cinematic aesthetic. Before I say my recommendation, I do want to address some of the comparisons about this game have been getting, and the gaming community before it released compared this game to Assassin's Creed franchise, and I strongly couldn't disagree more. And most of the time, these people that haven't played Assassin's Creed in a game in a long time, or one Assassin's Creed based in Japan, so this was the next best thing for them. And the two games couldn't be different. And it's unfair that this new IP has to be compared to this franchise, and it's seen as a placeholder for some impatient fans. And I really feel like Assassin's Creed has their own thing going, and it's important to address it because I don't want people to buy this game off the notion that this is or at least be turned on or off. But I think this is similar to Assassin's Creed, or it's not similar to Assassin's Creed. So I just really want to get that out there. Play this game on its own merit. Don't compare it, and 9 out of 10 you will enjoy it either way. To put it simply, this game is one of the greatest games I played in a long time, and if need be, I can play it again because this game does not stop after the main story ends. Because as I said before, this game is at your own pace, so that's also if you choose to 100%. And seeing how, for the most part, this game is balanced and fun challenging wise, it is perfect for most gamers, and I would think, and not to mention the beautiful graphics along with the great story, is more than enough to recommend this game, even at full price. And also, it's a must-have for PlayStation exclusives, and as far as that roster goes. Sucker Punch Studios did a great job on this game, and I hope we can get another one with improved things or added things that I'll be really looking forward to. And that'll be it for review. So thank you for anybody who tuned in. Thank you for anybody that shared the video, gave me a few minutes of your day. I really appreciate that. And yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and hopefully this will be the future of my review. I'm trying to do bigger and badder, make everything good, if that makes sense. And I'm doing all new software, whole new format, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it so we can get things going on this channel. But other than that, this has been Hydro Alpha Omega. Check out Hydro the Alpha Gamer. Have a good day. Goodbye.